All right, here I am again. I'm still practicing with some new tools on this, but as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, that's the piece that's nearly done. In fact, it may be done. And then the one that's zooming away there is pretty far along, and the one on the upper right-hand corner is partially completed. And the main view now is when I'm just starting the relief carving through the stain there. Again, I'm using, there I have an old tool that I've used quite a bit, but I'm still getting used to some of these other little tools that I've started using more recently. They're smaller, but I do like the little narrow, thin, flat wire they have on them with a little edge on it. It makes actually makes it a little bit easier to carve some of these areas. So I'm still practicing with those a little bit. I'm used to some of the tools with longer handles, and those are a little shorter, but I'm getting used to them. So anyway, here I've got the pattern already set up. There'll be four of these. They're flip flopped, and there'll be a few other extra designs that go along with them. So I have a real light sketch on there, and I'm just it's a rough sketch, but I'm just starting to do the outline of it, and then I'll do some relief carving. That's one of my old music wire tools right there also. So I'm just starting to follow these curves on there the way I have them set up, and I may alter them a little bit so they fit within the boundaries on the bowl itself. This bowl was thrown on my Pacifica wheel. It's leather hard right now, and there's a certain moisture level that's really nice to carve with. And sometimes it gets a little bit too dry, and I'll have to moisten it down with a spray bottle. I have to be careful not to put too much on there at one time, or it might cause a run or little runoff on it, and kind of put a little mark in the stain. But anyway, I just put a little bit of moisture on there, and I can keep it the same moisture level. And just makes it, I'm familiar with how the clay moves when you pull and how hard to push through the loop tool and things like that. So it just takes a little bit of getting used to, and that may vary for a lot of people. But anyway, here I'm using with music wire, and I can tell when I look at it the way when you pull it through there if it leaves a nice clean edge, if the moisture level is correct. So here I'm just starting to do a little bit more detail. On the right side, you can see it's a little further along. I'm just following just a rough draft of that sketch there. And on the right side again, you can see how it's rotating there. It's the pattern has some extra features on the sides of it there. This is on my Lockerbie wheel, and you can see it's sitting on a bat. That bat has two holes in it that line up with pins on my Lockerbie and the Pacifica, so I can take them. I can take the bat and the piece from the Pacifica wheel and just put it onto one of my two Lockerbie wheels, and they all line up. So that's pretty cool. I enjoy doing that. So I don't have to use an adapter or anything like that, or center it and somehow hold it in place. So anyway, they have the alignment pins on them. And the Lockerbie again is so nice to carve with compared to Pacifica. You can sit there and move it back and forth for a piece this size. If you're doing a large sculpture, it wouldn't quite work too well. But on this piece here, for these smaller pieces like this, it works really well. And you can move it back and forth so easily, just a little bit one direction, a little bit in the other direction, and just take a look at it and come back to it or go back and forth from one side to the other real quickly. And you're just seated there, you're not standing. So anyway, here I am rotating it a little bit more, taking a look at it. The footing on this one's already been completed. As you can see, it's got the little recessed base on it with a little bit of the rim that goes around the outside. There's some marks I put on there just to break up the four sections with a marker pen that'll burn off when it's fired. You can see them on one of the views. There's some black lines on there. They're just to show me some center locations when I'm starting to do the carving for each one of these patterns. So here I'm just doing a little bit of cleanup here and there all over the place, just checking it out. When I'm done with this today, I'm going to take a look at it in the mirror. I have a mirror in front of me. As you can see on the right side, there's a mirror there. And sometimes I see things in the mirror that I don't see when I'm looking at it. It just gives you a different perspective view of it. And sometimes you might notice where something needs a smoother curve or something when you look at it in the mirror. At least from my experience, it works that way. on the Lockerbie, you can see that there's a whole bunch of tools on the table in front of the wheel head. There's all different types of loop tools and different types of tools for removing the stained area. When this is all done, it'll be leather hard. I'll let it dry out, and then it'll be put in my scut kiln and be fired a little over cone 5. And then the stained area will be a nice satin black, and it'll be offset with a medium brown in the middle, kind of a natural looking piece. And I can put a transparent glaze over the outside if I need to, or want to. So that's pretty much it for this piece.